What's the deal? What's the deal? What is the deal? Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hitting that like button. It's the first thing you need to do when you come up in here is to make sure you hitting that like button. Make sure you hitting that like button. Well, what's the deal? What is the deal? What is the deal? What is the deal? Already. Let some of y'all get up in here real quick. What's good, bro? What's good with you? Y'all should be excited. It's a lot to talk about. What's good with you, bro? What's good with you? Already, man. Make sure you hit that like button when y'all come up in here. Make sure you hit that like button. You better be ready. We gotta be ready. We ready. We ready. We ready for y'all. We ready. Hey, ain't no time. Hey, ain't no time for no play. You gotta be ready. You gotta be ready. You gotta be ready, man. You gotta be ready, man. You gotta go. Already. Let some of y'all get up in here real quick. Let some of y'all get up in here real quick. What's up, YouTube? Boy, back once again with another sports topic. Today we talk some football, Houston Texans football. Today we gonna talk about the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans in that divisional round versus a very, very, very familiar foe. Very familiar foe. Even though it's a little bit different, it's not the same type of familiar foe, but it's still a familiar foe. And again, you got some people out there in Foxborough acting like TB12 walking through the door. So we're gonna talk about, we're gonna break it down, man. Appreciate everybody that came through here, man. Definitely appreciate everybody that's pulling up on your boy. Yes, I understand. I understand it is a late night stream. I normally like to do my lives between 8, no later than 9. Had some stuff at some business I take care of, some family business I have to take care of. So, but the stream was gonna happen. Like the stream was gonna happen just like the other day when I was at work and I did the stream after the game. Oh, the stream was gonna happen. We in the playoffs. It's divisional round. We're going to get a stream, no matter what I got doing outside. The stream was gonna get done. The stream was gonna get done. We gonna talk about this because hey, the Texans are back at a spot that they've been in and know all too well. The wild card. We've always been able to take care of the wild card. Like a win on Monday night just made us 7-2 in the wild card round. So the Texans normally handle business in the wild card. We're now 7-2 in the wild card round. That was our first time ever winning the game on the road because all the wild card games previous have been at home because we've always won the division. But that was the first time we had won a game, had a wild card game on the road. It was able to do that, able to take care of that, win that game on the road. Boom, it's all good. Got that first road playoff victory knocked out. Finally able to get a playoff victory on the road. Got that knocked out, and it was on Monday Night Football. First time we played a prime time. We start off playing a prime time game in the playoffs because normally we start at 3:30 on Saturday. That's the Houston Texans AFC South Invitational Saturday 3:30 wild card round. We were able to knock all that out the way. So we know we're doing the wild card. The divisional round is a little bit different because the divisional round this will get a little tricky. I said because now we're somewhere that we know all too well. We've been here 6 times before, but we're 0-6. All of them be on the road, including this one. This one will be on the road as well. Now, if the Chargers would have beaten the Patriots last Sunday, we'll be at NRG hosting the Buffalo Bills. But that's not the case. We up in Foxborough. And last time I checked, correct me if I'm wrong, it's supposed to be cold. And it's supposed to be snowing. I mean, they keep on talking about how cold it is, talking about how cold it was in Pittsburgh. That's why they come out there in them icy whites. Because they brought the cold, we brought the ice. Cause we brought the cold, they brought the cold, we brought the ice, and like we're doing it again here too. They bringing the cold, maybe some snow, but we pulling up at the ice and all ice. But anyway, I digress on that factor. So the Houston Texans go in the Foxborough to go up against the New England Patriots. Drake May is look like he's the front runner. Like he's the front runner to be the MVP. I know some people have been kind of like sneezing on his stats and talking about they ain't played nobody, different types of stuff. That cool. I mean, the dude still threw for 4,000 yards, over 30 touchdowns. They're top seed, like they're the number 2 seed in the AFC, won a division. Those are all the markings and makings of winning a regular season MVP. It's a regular season award, and it normally goes to the best player on the best team. And if the best team, like if the team with the best record doesn't have like a superstar player like that, or didn't have anybody, like say if Bo Nix was balling like that, it probably would have been Bo Nix or Sam Darnold. If Sam Darnold would have stayed on the trajectory that he was on early in the season, it could have been Sam Darnold, or maybe even JSN. But they normally give it to a quarterback. I know some people wanted to give it to Stafford. Stafford was the 5th seed. So that's why I don't really think it's going to be Stafford. And then also Stafford down the stretch did not play well towards the end of the season. They lost games to Atlanta and stuff like that. Like, so Matt Stafford didn't play all that well, while Drake May continued to play well towards the end of the season. So I do think it's going to end up being Drake May being the league MVP. But we won't know that until the week before the Super Bowl. And remember, those awards were voted in before the season ended. So that has nothing to do, it has no bearings, nothing that happens on the playoffs has any bearings on what those awards end up happening for. But anyway, so but again, we're going up against the offense that's able to put up a lot of points, but like I said, they have not, be honest, be completely fair, they really haven't played a lot of good football teams. Probably the best team that they play on their schedule that they've seen twice is the Buffalo Bills in their division. It's probably the best team. We all know what happened when the Buffalo Bills came in the NRG on a Thursday night. We all know what happened. We don't have to rehash it. We all know. We was all there. Either they're physically watching the game because you was in the building, or you watched it on Amazon Prime. But we was all there. We know what happened in that game. There's no reason and no need to rehash and go visit what happened in said game. We all know the information. We all know that. And that is probably New England's best win outside of the win they just had this Sunday versus the Chargers in the playoff game. And I think probably the most boringest game of the weekend. And I know we probably feel a little bit differently about what happened on Monday because we're Texan fans. So we were excited about this game. Even during the sluggish parts of the game, we're still focused and interested in the game. That game against the Chargers and the Patriots was not a good, entertaining game to watch. I was watching and rooting for the Chargers because, like I said, that made it possible for a divisional home game for the Houston Texans. But other than that, that game, when you look at all the other games that happened this weekend, the Panthers and the Rams, the Bears and the Packers, the 49ers and the Eagles, the Bills and Jags, all those games were entertaining. That Chargers Patriots game was not an entertaining game. And I think rewatching that game, it's a lot of questions and concerns if I was a Patriot fan that I would have going up against this game right here, going up against the Houston Texans and this number one defense. Because, and I think they're telling themselves without even telling themselves. Because when you hear the chatter, all the chatter around this game, it ain't got nothing to do with the game. We talking about snow. We talking about cold weather. We talking about Letterman jackets. We talking about like they're living on old history that happened 10 years ago with these two same franchises, completely different regimes from top to bottom. It's different ownership. Forget the players. Forget the players and the coaches. On the Houston side, it's a different ownership. Both of those times that we went into Foxborough in the playoffs, 2012, 2016, Bob McNair was still the owner. This is Kyle and Hannah's team now. Rick Smith was the general manager both times. We got Nick Caserio, who was out there in New England as a head scout. Gary Kubiak, Bill O'Brien's the head coach. Now DeMeco Ryans. Matt Schaub, Brock Osweiler is the quarterback. Now CJ Stroud. J.J. Watt was the best player on defense in both situations. Well, actually, no, take that back. J.J. Watt, the second time, J.J. Watt didn't play. Jadeveon Clowney, because that was the year J.J. Watt got hurt with the back. So Jadeveon Clowney the second time. Now, pick your poison. Will Anderson, Darius Stingley Jr., Kamari Lassiter, Jalen Petrie, Kalen Bullock, Daniil Hunter, Darius Stingley. Take your pick. Aziz, take your pick who you want to say is the best player on the defense. Because there's a plethora of them. And to be honest, you could probably name about 3 or 4 of them and you wouldn't be wrong. Now, maybe some people are better, but when you talk about Darius Stingley, Will Anderson, Kamari, and Daniil Hunter, you're really actually not really wrong if you name any of them 4. If you want to be completely honest, and the way that Petrie been playing for the last really all season, but definitely for the last month or so, and especially what we've seen Monday on in the game in Pittsburgh. If you name Jalen Petrie, you wouldn't be wrong either. Like, so you can name all, like I said, but for real, you can name 4 people on the defense legitimately say that's the best player on the defense, and you wouldn't be wrong. Somebody could disagree with you and say, nah, I think it's somebody else, but you wouldn't be actually wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the day, it was JJ hands down. If you name anybody else, you were just wrong because it was Justin James Watt. This time is really not with the way this defense is playing and the players that we have assembled and accumulated. You wouldn't be wrong if you named Will Anderson, Derek Stingley, Daniil Hunter, or Kamari Lassiter. I could legitimately make a case that one of those 4 is the best player on the defense. I could make multiple cases for all 4 of them, actually, if you want to be for real about it. So, but they keep on talking about what's happened the previous 2 times in a divisional round, and I just laid out to you. TB12 is not walking through that door. Bill Belichick ain't walking through that door. Be honest. Yeah, actually, probably as a Texan, you might rather Bill Belichick walk through that door. You want to be completely honest, because the way he got there looking at North Carolina, and also how he looked after TB12 like that. All I'm saying is it was a TB12 show. I just want to say it was a TB12 show. But anyway, but TB12 ain't walking through that door. Gronk ain't walking through that door. Drake May's having a phenomenal season. He's not Tom Brady. He's not Tom Edward Patrick Brady. He's not. He is not Tom Edward Patrick Brady. He is Drake May. He's not Tom Edward Patrick Brady. He's not. He's just not. He ain't walking. TB12 ain't walking through that door. TB12 is out there calling games for Fox in the booth. Just like Justin Watt is calling games for CBS, TB12 is calling games for Fox. He ain't walking through the door helping the Patriots out on Sunday. He not. And the game going to be on ESPN. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman calling the game. So he can't even help him from that. He can't even help him from that standpoint as well. But they not talking X's and O's when they talk about this game. And shout out to everybody being in Discord. If you part of Discord, man, shout out to everybody being in the Discord. See, because y'all already know this guy talked about this the other day, definitely yesterday. I talked about it again. The reason why they keep on doing that is because if they talk X's and O's, they know they can't win. They talk X's and O's, they know they're at a disadvantage. This defense is the best defense in the last 20 years for sure. Potentially the last 25. I have them right underneath the 2000 Ravens. I have the 2000 Ravens, the 2025 Houston Texans, and the 2002 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Those who I think are the top 3 defenses I've ever seen. Like I said, I can't speak about the 84 Bears. I wasn't born yet. I wasn't born to see the 84 Bears. I wasn't born to 1988. So I wasn't here until 3 years later. So I couldn't see the 85 Bears. I didn't see them. I didn't see them. I didn't see them. I seen the 2000 Ravens. I seen the 02 Bucks. I seen the 2013 Legion of Boom and the 2015 Denver Broncos. All the other defenses really in between. You can make a case for the '05 Bears. You can make a case for the 2009 Jets. But neither one of those teams sealed the deal. One made it to a Super Bowl, but they didn't seal the deal against Indianapolis. And the '09 lost in the AFC Championship game to Pittsburgh. They lose to Pittsburgh in '09. No, they lost to Indy. Yeah, they lost to Indy. They lost to Indy. They lost to Pittsburgh in 2010. They lost to Indy in 2009. So Peyton Manning beat both of those defenses and allowed that neither the '05 the 2005 Bears and the 2009 the 2009 Jets couldn't stamp their seal of approval on being those all-time great defenses because they couldn't even get the chips all the way. They couldn't get the chips that way. You're right there. They did have a good defense. That Eagles team did have a good defense, but it's not better than the 2002 Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. Just look at how they did Rich Gannon, the MVP, another MVP. Rich Gannon was the MVP of the league that year, and look how that Tampa Bay defense did the number one offense in the NFL in the Super Bowl. Look how dominant that 0-2 Buck defense was something serious and was the best that we've seen since the 2000 Ravens and to DeMeco Ryans and the 2025 Houston Texans defense was assembled and showed you what's up. And again, the last month, I'm gonna be honest with you, the last month they wasn't playing like an elite defense. The last time we seen them look like an elite defense was Sunday night against Kansas City. They kind of took their foot off the gas against Arizona, against Vegas, the half against Indy, because the second half was the second stringers. But even the first half, when the Stars was out there, they took the foot off the gas. They played well against the Chargers, but not like an elite defense. They look like a very good defense against the Chargers. But those other games, they took their foot off the gas, and I always equivalent to like a Power 5 school going up against a G5. And sometimes they play with their food a little bit, and they let them hang around for longer than you wanted them to hang around. Like the way Oregon let like JMU hang around. You see how they did. They see how they did my Tech. How they did Texas Tech. They didn't let Tech hang around. I think that was more so on Barry Morton. But again, we're not talking about Texas Tech right now. But but when they played JMU, they allowed JMU able to get some points. I know some of it was garbage time, but hey, they allowed JMU to put up some points, and y'all let them score too much. Like stuff like that. Y'all let them score too much. Like that's what the defense was looking like the last month. And I had no concerns going into that game on Monday because I knew when the stakes was going to be high, which is in the playoff game, Monday Night Football, everybody watching. Don't stop watching. Everybody watching. The defense is going to step up and do what they was going to do. They say they're going to step up and they're going to have to go out there and shut down a 45-year-old, 145-year-old Aaron Rodgers. They're going to go out there and make it do what they do. Go out there and shut them down. And they did exactly that. So if they want to talk X's and O's, they would have to mention that. They would have to mention how good this damn defense is. And they don't want to do that. So they got to talk about everything else under the sun outside of that. Even though there is something X and O's wise they can talk about. But this shows you that they don't actually know football for real. Because it's an elephant in the room that we can talk about. And y'all already know I'm going it. Y'all already know. Coleridge, Bernard, Stroud. There's a real good chance, y'all, that CJ could mess off all the money. There's a great chance. I ain't gonna say great chance. I ain't gonna say great chance. I'm gonna say good chance. Real good chance. A real good legitimate chance that Coleridge, Bernard Stroud can mess off all the money. There's a chance because he almost did it Monday. Like he almost did it Monday. Fumbling 5 times, twice on one play, throwing a horrific interception. I know after the game, like I kind of blamed the center more because that was just me watching the game, and I'm thinking a lot of those fumble snaps was on the center. It was only one of those fumble snaps. Only one of those fumble snaps was on the center. There's only one of the 5 fumbles that he had. Only one of them is on the center. Only one, the last one. The other 4 were all on CJ plus the interception. So even if you say, okay, well, one of them was on the center, okay, cool. He fumbled 4 times and still threw interception. So he still had 5 plays, and the 2 fumbles that were lost were on him. So case point of him. Okay, even if you just take away the one, like he still turned the ball over 3 times, and then also had an additional fumble. Like I said, one of them he fumbled on the same. He fumbled twice on one play. I know CJ played well because that's actually the kind of crazy thing about it. CJ actually did throw the football well from a passing standpoint, from him dropping back, reading the defense. He actually did. He made throws that, especially on third down, we were 5 of 14, 5 of 15. I'm sorry. We were 5 of 15 on third down, while Pittsburgh was 2 of 14 on third down. That was on CJ. The reason why we converted third down 10 times was because of CJ. Now, some of the reasons why we was on third down was because of CJ fumbling the ball. However, CJ actually did play well from that standpoint. But when it came to fumble, like, when it came to like him, like I say, almost messing off the money, he did. Hey, shout out to that boy Huff for Super Chat Love. Definitely appreciate that. Is it possible that CJ just can't understand the offense is too much for him? Mills seemed to grasp it better. Shout out Jeff for Super Chat Love. Definitely appreciate that. I don't think it's that he doesn't grasp the offense. Because I think he understands the offense very well. Now I have reservations and questions about if this offense actually fits his skill sets and also the skill sets of the weaponry that we have amongst us, the receivers. Because I do think that our receivers and CJ, I do think they fit the Kubiak Shanahan system better. I think that we got the system right previously. We just got the wrong play calling Bobby Slowick. That's my personal opinion. I could be wrong, but my personal opinion, I feel like that that zone play action pass type offense, that West Coast offense, I feel like that move. I feel like that fits CJ more, and it highlights what CJ wants to do more. It highlights his skill sets more. And then also that you can find, you know what I'm saying, you could attack the middle, the deep middle, the sideline. I feel like that, and I think also getting better. Then you also would need better tight end play as well. I do think you also need better tight end play. I mean, Dalton Schultz it played phenomenal this year, but that system also, with that system, either you have to have an elite tight end like a Travis Kelce or a Shannon Sharp or a Kittles, because like in that West Coast type offense, especially a Kubiak Shanahan. So take Kelce out, but just in that Kubiak Shanahan offense, like how you have a Shannon Sharp or like I said, Kittle, unless you have an elite tight end like that dual tight end situation. Owen Daniels was a good tight end. He wasn't an elite. He was a good tight end. That's why you had a Joel Dreesen or a Gary Graham or even a Ryan. What was Ryan's last name? Was it Ryan Griffin? Right, yeah, Ryan Griffin. Did Ryan Griffin play? Well, I know Gary Graham and Owen Daniels played, and I know Joel Dreesen played with Owen Daniels because it was Joel Dreesen first, and then we ended up getting Gary Graham. And then I think Owen left, and then it was Gary Graham, and it was uh, Ron Miller. But by the time we run Bill O'Brien system, so never mind. Forget about Ryan Griffin because that Ryan Griffin was under Bill O'Brien. But you need those like that. If you had two legit, like you was able to use both. So if you was able to use a Stover and a what you call it and Stover and a I can't think of the boy name, Dalton Schultz and a Dalton, then you're able to use, you know what I'm saying? Then also you get better running back play. I also think that if you got somebody to legitimately run that offense, you find somebody to if you find somebody to legitimately if you find somebody to legitimately run that if you find somebody to legitimately run that offense and call that offense, you be able to get better running back play. Now we were able to run the football Monday against Pittsburgh. We were able to run the football against, which surprised the mess out of me. But that had a lot to do with our offensive line. Our offensive line was blocking like the best that we've seen in years. Like that offensive line was mauling. That offensive line was absolutely mauling Pittsburgh's front. It absolutely was. It absolutely was. Hey, shout out Black Vegeta 9,000. It's over 9,000. Shout out Black Vegeta for Super Chat Love. Definitely appreciate that. I might shed a tear if we win. Hey, I don't know if I'm going to shed a tear with this one. But we got two more. Job's not finished. Job's not done. We got two more. And if we... I don't really know. I've been saying crazy, like I said, like I'm saying I'm running down the street if we complete the whole entire task, if we complete the entire mission. I said I'm running down the street yelling and screaming. I've been saying that. I don't really know what will happen. I don't legitimately know what will happen if we actually do all that. But just to beat the Patriots and get to the AFC Championship game, you know, we're the only franchise at all 32 franchises that have yet to make an AFC or make a conference championship game. We're the only franchise of all 32 franchises that have yet to make a conference championship game. I don't know if I'm gonna cry if we make at least a conference championship game. I'm gonna be extremely excited. I don't think I'm gonna cry though. Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl. I don't know what comes to the Super Bowl. I don't know. I don't know when it comes to Super Bowl. Trill, shut up, because first of all, there's the thing about me, bro. I don't cry behind anything, honestly. I really don't. So I don't think I'm gonna cry. I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't think that's going to be the case. I extremely doubt that. I extremely doubt that. I extremely doubt that. But anyway, but shout out Black Vegeta for Super Chat Love. Definitely appreciate that. But like I was saying though, like CJ threw the football well. It was just that he act like he didn't know how to catch the football when he was in the shotgun and those snaps. Because again, those snaps was hitting CJ right in the hands. He was the one that he fumbled twice. The one that he fumbled twice. He catches it. It's in his hand, and he drops it. He catches it like this. Boom! It's in his hand for like a half a second, and then he just drops it like hot potato. It's hot potato, and he picks it back up, and he's trying to like make a play and run, and then fumbles it again. That's the reason why he looked like that. Cause he's like, I really fumbled it, picked it up, and then fumbled it again. Then the other one that he fumbled, like it just came, he just never was able to close it. It just slid straight through his hand. It just slid just straight through his hand. Just ooh. and he picked it up and he threw it away. That was on the drive that we ended up scoring a touchdown on. It's like the second or third play of the 92-yard touchdown drive that we all know, the fumble on the flea flicker. And I rewatched that. Again, I still think that it would have been better suited called later on once the run was established. However, yes, Fisher missed this block. But when Fisher missed his block, CJ sidestep and steps up to avoid the rush. Defender coming here, you have to know because you sidestep, so you know the defender's back here. There's no need for you to pull that hand up. I don't give a damn that Jalen Higgins is in the end zone. He could have been back there baking cookies and making pizza by his damn self. You do not cock your arm up to release that football. You have a defender bearing down that you hit full speed, and you know dude is back here. Because you know how I know you know? Because you seen him, you sidestep, and then step up. You sidestep, and you stepped up. So there's no need for you. So you know he back here. You know he's around. There's no need for you to try to throw a football and make a play. That's not smart decisions. That's why it's on you. That's why it's on you. That's why it's not on you. That's why it's on you. And then there's another one at the end of the first. Because really all these botches were all like in the first half. Well, actually, no. Actually, one of his fumbles, he just actually with the last one, that's the one that wasn't his fault. That's the one that was on the center because he hiked it the wrong way. There's another one like because they were playing the first half like on that drive going going in the halftime. He throws to what's his name Jalen Noel, and Jalen Noel drops it. CJ caught that pass. CJ caught that snap. He botched that snap too. He catches it. It slips out of his hands, but it doesn't hit the ground. Like because he catches it cleanly, and he bobbles it a little bit, and it turns on him. Then he cocks back and releases it. I do believe because that ball did get away from CJ and sailed a little bit. And again, at the end of the day, Noel still should catch it because Noel was able to get both his hands on the ball. So Noel should be able to catch. You NFL player, you got to come out. You have to come down with that football. The quarterback put it in your vicinity. You got to come down with it. Yes, it wasn't a perfect pass, but you're on this level in the NFL. You want to make plays. You have to be able to make plays for your quarterback. You got to make plays. You got to help your quarterback. Sometimes you got to be able to help and bail your quarterback out and make plays for your quarterback. You got to be able to make plays for your quarterback. You on this level, you just have to. And CJ didn't get the ball out cleanly to him because he bobbled it. I do believe that part of the reason why the ball didn't come out as good as it should have is because of him bobbling it. So, say all that to say, that's material for y'all. Since y'all want to talk about winners and losers, that's material for y'all that y'all don't use. Y'all want to resort to gimmicky stuff. Y'all want to resort to gimmicky stuff. And there's no need. Because there is actual legitimate football X's and O's things to talk about, but y'all don't talk about that. That's why it kind of irritates me when Texas fans do the same thing. Like, with Texas fans want to talk about like Drake made his schedule. Oh, they ain't playing nobody. We can beat them because they ain't playing nobody. Drake made was here. Like all my thing is this. Bro, we better than that. I know we might not have done nothing yet, like as far as championships. We have the best defense in the NFL in the last 20 to 25 years. Last 20 years easily. Potentially last 25 years. So obviously it's the best defense is playing right now. It is the best side of the ball in the NFL by far. There's no offense that's as good or better than our defense. There's no offense in the NFL that's as good or better than our defense. So because of that, that's all you need. That's all you need to be talking about. Is how good this damn defense is, and how this defense is gonna go out there and put pressure and stuff on Drake May, like, and how this defense is gonna be able to play against this team. That's what we could and should be talking about. Like, let's get to the numbers, man. Let's get into it. I've been talking this whole time, man. I ain't even getting to no numbers yet, man. So I'm not gonna. I'm gonna talk about what happened last week in the playoffs. Cause again, like I said, like a couple weeks ago, it's a new season, playoffs, new season. So talk about what happened in the playoffs. So again, Monday Night Football against the Pittsburgh Steelers. CJ was 21 to 32 for 65 completion percentage, 205 yards, one touchdown, one interception. Was only sacked 3 times. He fumbled the ball 5 times, but he only lost 3 of his fumbles. Willie Marks had a career day, carried the ball 19 times, 112 yards, averaging 5.9 yards to carry, one touchdown. Nick Chubb carried the ball 10 times at 48 yards, averaging 4.8 yards to carry. Kurt had a career day as well. Targeted 9 times at 8 catches for 144 yards and a touchdown. And Jalen Higgins, he was targeted 4 times, had 3 catches for 39 yards. Now, let's look at what the New England Patriots did against the Chargers on Sunday. Drake May was 17 of 29 for 58 completion percentage, 268 yards, one touchdown, one interception, was sacked 5 times, fumbled the ball twice. Now, he lost 1 fumble. I know people know about he had the same amount of fumbles as CJ. He kind of didn't. Like, CJ had 3 more fumbles than him, and 1 less loss, and 1 more lost fumble than him. So he fumbled the ball twice. Only 1 of them was lost. He ran the ball 10 times and had 65 yards. Stevenson was a leading rusher. Actually, Drake May was a leading rusher. He was a leading rusher as a running back. Stevenson carried the ball 10 times, had 53 yards, and then also was targeted 4 times, had 3 catches for 75 yards. Boutte was targeted 4 times, had 4 catches for 65 yards, and then Hunter Henry was targeted 5 times, had 3 catches for 64 yards and a touchdown in a 16-3 win versus the Chargers. Bro, their Charger defense in front was able to get to Drake May the entirety of that game. And I looked at his schedule. Anytime, even though you can say they had a weak schedule, all that cool. But when they played against anybody that had any type of front, Drake May was getting sacked at least 5 times. He got sacked 6 times versus Cleveland, 5 times against Tennessee, 5 times versus Pittsburgh. What was the other one? 4 times against Buffalo, 1 time, and the other time it was 3 times he got sacked against Buffalo. It was another one too. I can't remember, but I know Cleveland was 6 times, Tennessee was 5 times, Pittsburgh was 5 times. The Chargers in the playoff game was 5 times. Buffalo was 4 times, and the next time was 3 times. And ain't none of them defenses front better than Will Anderson, Daniil Hunter, Togi Togiai, Barnett, Archery, Aziz, Toyotas. Ain't none of they fronts, ain't none of those front sevens I just named better than what I just named. Ain't none of them. The closest one. Now, Cleveland has the best player in Myles Garrett. I'll give you that. Myles Garrett is the best player on the D line that they face against. I tell you that. Pittsburgh is the closest one. Pittsburgh is the closest one. They are. Pittsburgh is the closest one. Pittsburgh still ain't better than ours. They not. You got one great player in Myles Garrett in Cleveland. Cool. You got a good player in Tennessee with Jeffrey Simmons. Cool. You got some players in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh does have a collection of players, but their front is not as good as ours. And this boy out there getting sacked 5 times, 4 times, 3 times, 6 times. And then 5 times the playoffs against the Chargers. And y'all want to talk about some cold weather? Y'all want to talk about some? This is the reason why they not talking about X's and O's because of that stuff right there. That's why they're not talking about it. That's the exact reason why they're not talking about it. Because they know if they want to talk about some real, you want to talk about some real stuff, we can talk about some real stuff. They don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. Now, like I was just mentioning about guys who had career games. Willie Marks, first ever 100-yard game this season by him, 112 yards and a rush touchdown. Like I say, that running attack on Monday was phenomenal because the way he was able to get the push. That's why you even had Chubb able to get 48 yards off of 10 carries, averaging 4.8 yards a carry. Like the most impressive thing to me is not even that Willie Moss had 112 yards, is that he was able to carry the ball for 5.9 yards, or basically 6 yards a carry. And then then Chubb piggyback off of that with 4.8, damn near 5 yards a carry. What tells me, which I already know because I seen it, that this offensive line was moving and grooving on Monday. This offensive line was moving and mauling and pushing people around. Also, speaking of that, the way this D line was pushing around Pittsburgh's O line, like those guys, Will and the Nick, they was getting back there all night long. They were putting immense pressure on Aaron Rodgers all night long. They was getting back there the entirety of the night. They was getting back there all night long. All night long. Yeah. All night long. Tonight. All night long. Tonight. All night long. Tonight. They was getting back there all night. They was getting back there, bro, all night. But the person that really stepped up Monday was Kurt, having a career day himself, also having the Texan playoff record for the most receiving yards in a playoff game by a Texas receiver with 144 yards, 8 catches, 144 yards, 1 touchdown. The first time all season. And I was like, hey, I'm glad to have Christian Kirk on the team. Because other than that, Christian Kirk all season has done absolutely nothing. I ain't even gonna say relatively. He's done absolutely nothing the entirety of the season. I feel like he's been wasting space and it was taking snaps away from Jalen Noel. Like he was doing absolutely nothing the entirety of the season. But Monday, he was the best receiver on the field and he played phenomenal. Nico Collins has been officially ruled out. Not surprised. As soon as he got the concussion, I knew he wasn't going to be playing. I knew he wasn't going to be playing. One, because it's a short week, so Monday to Sunday. Two, players typically don't come back after 1 week off of concussion. They sometimes they do, but it's very rare. And three, he's already had concussion earlier this year. And if history tells you that players that have concussions more than once in a calendar year miss more time on that second concussion. He missed a week. He missed the 49ers game off of concussion. Even if the Texans win, I would not be surprised if Nico doesn't play in the AFC Championship game. It would not surprise me. I'm not going to full-fledged say he won't, because I could definitely see, even though it's not like any other injury like you can fight through. It's an independent, non-team affiliated neurologist that does different tests, and some of these tests, like I said, you can't fake. Like sometimes they just flash a light in front of you, and it's the way you react. Like, do you react to how you normally react when the light shines in your face, or is it something different? You go to practice, because probably you got to have 2 practices and not showing the symptoms after the practice. So some of it, is a lot of stuff is something that you can't fake. So it's not even really like, he gonna play the AFC Championship game because he gonna fake his way through it. It's really not possible. It's really not possible. Now, could they look the other way? Because now, who knows? I don't know. I don't know if they can find a doctor maybe to look another way when it comes to certain things because of the severity of situations in the playoffs, AFC Championship games, Super Bowls online. I don't know. Maybe, possibly. I have no idea. I doubt it, but don't know. So, like I said, obviously he's not going to play this game, and I think it's actually a very good chance. I think it's 55-45 that he's not playing next week either. I think it's the favorite that he's not going to play. Me personally. He's not going to play in the following week either, as it stands right now. Now, again, who knows how things progress the rest of I mean, if that is how things progress later on, we'll know. But the thing is, CJ actually plays better when Nico's not there. Like, CJ's best game this season, the way he looked, the best looking game this year, I know some people might think it's the Baltimore game, and it's not. It's actually the 49ers game. CJ in that 49ers game was 30 or 39 for 76.9. So basically 77 completion percentage, 318 yards and 2 touchdowns. Like, CJ plays well because now the pressure's off of, I don't have to try to force feed the ball to 12. I can go back to my Ohio State days and spread the football around, throw it to number 13, throw it to 81, throw it to 86, throw it to 13, throw it to 14, throw it to 19, dump it off to 27. Like, I could sit back and just spread the football around all game long and throw it to 87. Like it just, I don't have to just try to force it to Nico Collins because he's again, you will always want the best player on the field. Obviously, I think Nico is the most talented receiver that we have. He's the best receiver they have. So you will want the best receiving option on the field. Absolutely. You absolutely want the best receiving option on the field. But it does benefit CJ. Very similar to when, I know y'all won't hear his name no more, when Hop left and Foden had to try to push the ball to Hopkins no more. Led the league in passing. And the tech franchise record is still currently the most passing yards in the season and touchdowns and completion percentage. And I think quarterback rating as well all went that year without your number one receiver. Without your typical number one receiver, your quarterback played the best football he's ever played. Still to this day. And also the best quarterback statistically that this franchise has ever seen in a season. Just facts. Without the number one without the number one receiver. So sometimes it's less and more, addition with subtraction, whatever thing you want to use. Sometimes it does actually help and benefit your quarterback. And I do think it could benefit and help your quarterback be able to spread the football around. So before I give my prediction to this Texan game, I want to give the prediction of the other game. So, we got 2 games tomorrow. Then we have, 2 games on Sunday. So the so the first game, first game we have tomorrow is the Buffalo Bills at Denver. Denver's the number 1 seed in the AFC. Buffalo is the 6th seed in the AFC. We all know the stakes, and luckily for us, for the Texans, that game comes on. Luckily for us, that game comes on Saturday, so we will know. We gonna know when this game. We gonna know by the time our game come on, if we gonna be playing. If we have a potential to have an AFC Championship game at home, or we gotta go to Denver. So we'll know. We'll definitely know. Anyway, so like I said, the first game tomorrow is you have the Buffalo Bills, the number 6 seed Denver Broncos. I said that completely wrong. My apologies. You have the Buffalo Bills traveling to the number 1 seed Denver Broncos. First game of first game of the playoffs of. I'm still messing this up. First game of the divisional round. I don't know what I'm tripping on. First game of the divisional round is the Buffalo Bills at the Denver Broncos. Don't know exactly what the weather's going to be like in Denver. Absolutely don't have no idea what that weather is going to be like. I think that this game is going to be a relatively close game. I know a lot of people. I mean, Denver Denver gets a lot of sacks. People talking about how Denver beginning the season. People talking about how Denver's the best defense in the league. They defense has tailed off a lot since the beginning of the season. I mean, you look at the game against Jacksonville, you look at the game against the Sunday night game against Washington, and you can say the same thing, like I said, what I was saying earlier about the Texas defense and some of the games they played, but they were actually playing meaningful games. Like the game against Jacksonville was a meaningful game, and they were still playing for their division. It wasn't like they were going. I'm not talking about games where they're just going up against probably like them going up against a Las Vegas Raiders, or they going up against one of the worst teams in the field. Like, no, they were going up against Jacksonville. That game could potentially cost them not only a division, but also cost them the number one seed to Jacksonville, because Jacksonville would have the tiebreaker over them. And then you still had the Chargers on their heels to get the AFC South, get the AFC West. So that game actually meant a lot to Denver, and Denver still defense didn't look the way that they were talking about Denver's defense looking all year long. Buffalo, we seen what Josh Allen did against Jacksonville. And again, Josh Allen was getting absolutely beat up that entire game. Josh Allen was leaving that game it seemed like every other play, they was putting Josh Allen back on the sideline in the blue tent after every drive. It seemed like he was walking back into that blue tent. They was checking on something that I didn't know. I'm like, man, dog, Josh Allen is getting beat up in this game. And from a Texan fan watching it, wanting the Bills to beat Jacksonville, so it would help the Texans' chance to have a home playoff game in this playoffs. Made you kind of worried the way Josh Allen was getting abused in this game. So I say all this to say, I think the Bills will beat Denver 24-20. I think Josh Allen is going to go out there and put on that Superman cape once again and have some super heroics against his defense. Now, again, this defense can get to the quarterback. That's one thing this defense excels at, is getting to the quarterback. And we've seen Josh Allen get beat up out here in Houston. We've seen him get 8 sacks in Houston. We've seen, like I said, we've seen Jacksonville last week beat up on Josh Allen. I just think that Josh Allen makes enough plays in this game to go out there and get a playoff win, throws on the Superman cape one more time out there in Mile High, and able to get a win against the Denver Broncos. And I think that Josh Allen, the Buffalo Bills, defeat the Denver Broncos 24-20 in Denver. The next game, the number 1 seed Seattle Seahawks take on a divisional opponent in the San Francisco 49ers. The San Francisco 49ers got to travel to Seattle. There's the late game. They just played the end of the season off they were playing for the number 1 seed versus they were playing for the number 1 seed in the division title just 2 weeks ago on a Saturday night. And here we are 2 weeks later in the playoffs. When I go home, Seattle was able to shut down the 49ers offense in that game and basically make McCaffrey look non-existent. They were able to shut down that offense, one of the best offenses in the NFL. Seattle was able to shut that down because I think Seattle is one of the best. I think it's the Texans, Seattle, and Denver, in my personal opinion, is the best defense in the league. I think it's Houston by far. Then I think it's Seattle. And then I also think that then right there, I think it's Denver, in my personal opinion. So I think this is the second best defense in the NFL. I think they're the number 1 scoring defense because I think they end up taking over the number 1 scoring defense by like a hair, by like a point something over the Texans, because the Texans gave up all them points in the second half against the Indianapolis Colts on the end of the season. But I think the Seattle Seahawks actually do continue and defeat the San Francisco 49ers 20-17. I think it's going, again, unlike the last game, because the last game wasn't really all that close. I do think this game will be a closer game. I think the Seattle 49ers game will be a closer game than the game was a couple weeks ago. But I am going to take Seattle to go out there and beat the San Francisco 49ers. Again, if I'm not mistaken, I think Kittle's not going to be there. I don't know if this offense and Brock Purdy has enough. I know they've been playing well all year. I don't know if Brock Purdy. I know he's been to a Super Bowl. I know he's been to 2 NFC Championship games. I know he's been to the Super Bowl. Don't know if he got like that. And again, I know, Sam Darnold. I know it's crazy. Sam Darnold's like Sam Darnold never won a playoff game. Like Sam Darnold. I think that Seattle team is a legitimate football team, and I do think that Seattle team is the best team in the NFL. Is the best team in the NFC. I think that team is the best team in the NFC. So I'm going to take Seattle to defeat the San Francisco 49ers 20-17. Now, Sunday night game, which is like technically like at like 5:30. It's not really a night game. Night game. I think it's like 5:30, 6:30, something like that. It's not really like a night game. Night game, but it's the late game on Sunday. Is the Los Angeles Rams traveling to Chicago and face Caleb Williams in the Chicago Bears? I think this is going to be the most high scoring game in this round of the playoffs. I think this is going to be points all over the board. I think it's going to be several lead changes. I think this is going to be the most exciting game of all the games to watch. Like just as a football fan, forget obviously if your team playing, you're going to be more excited about the game that you're watching if your team playing. But just from a straight football fan perspective, just a football fan sitting back, turning on TV, watching the game, I think this is going to be the funnest game of this round. I think that fourth quarter is going to be a lot of fireworks. I think it's going to be points changing. You got somebody who a lot of people think could and should be the MVP. And Matt Stafford. You have a former Heisman, former number one overall pick, Caleb Williams, who actually, contrary to what some people believe, in that game last week showed why he was a Heisman Trophy winner and showed why he was the number one overall pick, because he made throws that only like him and like three other people could make, like only him and Josh Allen, a Patrick Mahomes. And actually, he actually made a play that only him and Patrick Mahomes could make. Like it was a play that he made in that game when he's throwing the football as he's laying, he's falling back and he's throwing a football and he throws a dime while he's like in the air, like he's in the air he's laid down in the air and throwing the football like that, and he throws a rope for a first down, final receiver for a first down on third down after he ran around for a little bit. Only him and Patrick Mahomes can do that. Josh Allen ain't doing that. Lamar, only him and Patrick Mahomes are doing stuff like that. So when you see that, you say, okay, I see why he won the Heisman. I see why he's the number one overall pick. I get it. Because he can make plays like that. Those are plays that only a few people can make. Forget everything else that people that like. Those are plays that only a few people can make. I'm just keeping it all the way real. And as I see that, I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, can he consistently do that? Because can you constantly be down 21-3 to a team and come back and win? You can't make a living doing that. You keep playing, you keep playing with the snake, you're gonna end up getting bit. So you can't keep doing that. You keep playing with a snake, you're gonna end up getting bit. So you can't keep flirting around with playing to the last second and stuff like that. You're gonna end up getting bit. You can't keep doing that. There's gonna be a detriment to you and your team. You keep doing that. I say, and like the Rams, they know the Rams defense, the way that they let Bryce Young able to move the football on them last week, and the way that the Falcons were able to move the football on them a couple weeks ago. You got concerns about the Rams as well. I have Chicago winning 33-31. I think it's gonna be like three lead changes in the fourth quarter. Like I think like it's gonna be like 27 to 28 or something. I know it's like 27-28, and then boom, it's gonna be 31-28. Then boom, it's gonna be like 33-30, like 33-31 game over. Like I think it's gonna be like lead change after lead change after lead change after lead change after lead change. That's what I think is gonna end up happening. But I think the Chicago Bears come out on top, and the Chicago Bears defeat the Rams 33-31. So to recap, I have the Buffalo Bills going on the road, defeating the Denver Broncos on the road 24-20. I have Seattle defeating the 49ers at home 20-17. And I have the Chicago Bears defeating the Los Angeles Rams at home 33-31. So that means I have the NFC Championship game at Seattle versus Chicago as the NFC Championship game. And I have the Buffalo Bills, since they are the lower seed, they will have to go to whoever wins at Houston, or whoever wins at Houston versus New England. So the winner of Houston, New England, our game will determine where the Buffalo Bills go for AC Championship game. Hey, shout out Rue for the super chat love. Definitely appreciate that. Rue says 19-10 Texans. He has a very defensive field goal kicking game because 19, I mean, yo, field goal kicker what? Kick 4 field goals? You score one touch. So only 2 touchdowns are scored, and your field goal kicker kick 4 field goals. Shout out Rue for the super chat love. Definitely appreciate that. That's a very, very, very low scoring game. Is CJ a franchise quarterback? I do think CJ is a franchise quarterback. I do. I don't think that CJ is going to get franchise quarterback money. If he gets a contract this season, if he gets paid this season, if he gets paid at the end of the season, no matter how the season ends, if he gets paid at the end of the season, unless it ends with Super Bowl and he has to like be like Super Bowl MVP, then that's different. Like things could change. But um, if the play continues and stays how it's been, I think he gets paid anywhere from from 48 million to 55 million a year, which I mean when we were talking about like 2 years ago, we were talking about somebody resetting the market. I don't see him getting anywhere close to resetting the market. But I do believe that he is a franchise quarterback. I just think he has a lot of growing up to do as far as on the field. I'm not talking about like he's like immature or something like that. I think he's a lot of growing up maturity on the field that needs to happen. Going about certain things in the game and being more consistent. Um, is that offense? I do think I know Nick Kelly actually. I actually got got to give Nick Kelly some credit. Nick Kelly actually did call a good game on Monday. I still don't think that this offense of system actually fits Nick Kelly. However, I don't think the offensive system that Nick Kelly has fits CJ. However, I do think that CJ is a franchise quarterback, and I do think a better system would fix it. But that's just me. We'll see exactly what happens. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. So the Patriots are a 3-point favorite versus Houston Texans. The over under is 40.5. So that means they only think only 40 points are going to get scored in this game, which means what? 21-19, kind of similar to what Rue put in the super chat, except he had 19-10, it would be like 20-19. 21-20 would be the over. So I mean, like if you were betting the over, you just need the score to be 21-20. Score 21-20 and you bet the over, you win. I mean, I guess it depends on how much you bet on the. But the Patriots are a 3-point favorite at home, which basically tells me that the Vegas picks it as a toss up because you get anywhere between 2.5 to 3 points to be at home. And this is supposed to be cold outside, supposed to be snowing. So obviously they're going to give them the full 3 because of the weather, which means on a neutral field, it's a toss up, it's a pick 'em. In Houston is the favorite, about 3, maybe 2.5. That's what that spread does. So that spread actually benefits the Texans. And you think it should be more because Nico's not playing. Even though I say, and the numbers back up that CJ plays better with Nico, but like I said earlier, you will always rather have the better player. You always have rather have the better player on the field than not. So you would lean towards having Nico Collins out there. So you would think that that would like help out the spread some. That would help the spread out some that Nico would be on the field. So if Nico's on the field, would that probably lowers it down to probably Nico probably take it down to probably about 2. So instead of it being a 3-point favorite in New England, probably 2.5 point favorite. So which would means if it was on a neutral field, that means the Texan would be a half-point favorite by that logic, right? So anyway, so like I was saying, watching that game, rewatching both games, watching the way the Texans played, watching the way that defensive front was able to just like I said, just get back there on Pittsburgh offensive line all night long and just make things completely hectic for the for Aaron Rodgers and Pittsburgh Steelers, and then watching the way that Drake May was getting abused and getting beat up by the Chargers front, like the Chargers front was getting back there like that too. Then also watching the Texas offensive line able to maul Pittsburgh's offensive line, able to bully them and push them around, open up all these lanes for both Woody Marks and Nick Chubb, and that was the reason why we were able to run the football the way we were able to run the football because of the way our offensive line was mauling Pittsburgh's defensive line. And you look at New England's defensive line, and you can get back there. You could do New England's defensive line is not better than Pittsburgh's. So so you should think that if Nick Kelly calls that same type of game, you'll be able to run the football with ease over the Patriots, especially in the snow. Now, your quarterback got to get his head out and have to learn how to actually field in the snaps so he can go out there and do what he was doing in the game, slicing and dicing, dissecting the defense in the secondary with his arm, because that's what he was doing. He was throwing when he was throwing the football. He was throwing the football at ease. When he was throwing the football, he was looking like the number 2 overall pick. He was looking like the best thrower of the football coming out of Ohio State. That's what you're seeing. But it was him filling in the snap and then him doing too much, going out there acting like he had to try to be a Hall of Fame player on every single play. Like the interception made absolutely no sense. You're coming out of halftime, you're moving the football. It was a phenomenal drive coming out of halftime. You're moving the football very, very well. Moving it very well. You get into the red zone where you have a clear-cut 3 points. An easy 3. And you throw an interception. There's no need for that. There's no need to go out there and act like that. There's no need to do that. None. There's no need to do this. No need to put on a Superman cape. There's none. As a franchise, we've been here before. As a franchise, we're in a situation that we've known all too well. The divisional round, especially at Foxborough. We've known it all too well. We've been in this round before 6 different times and have lost all of them. Twice in this building. But the difference is no Bill Belichick is walking through that door. No Tom Brady walking through that door. On the sideline, ain't no Gary Kubiak, ain't no Bill O'Brien, ain't no Justin James Watt, ain't no Jadeveon Clowney, no Andre Johnson, no DeAndre Hopkins. Just head coach DeMeco Ryans, Will Anderson, Daniil Hunter, Darius Stingley, Jalen Petrie, Kalen Bullock, Kamari Lassiter. The best DBs, though. Just them. So you got to go out there and handle your business. You got to go out there and make actual moves. Like I said before, this time is over. Be playing. Go out there and prove what you got to prove. Show them why you are the number 1 defense in the last 25 years. Go out there and prove it every single play. Every single snap. Go out there and prove why you like that. Because you really are like that. You are. So go out there and show the damn world that you are. Because you really is. Show them that you like that. All day long. Play after play after play after play after play. Show them who you are. Show them that you really like that. Show them it's H-Town and we hold it down. H-Town, we ain't scared of no jackers. Catching interceptions like I'm a linebacker. Like, show them who you is. Show them what you doing. Show them what you doing. Ain't no more room for play. Ain't no more room for games. None. I have the Houston Texans winning 23-13 and going to the AFC Championship game for the first time in franchise history. I don't see how this offense moves the football on this defense consistently. Will they make plays here and there? Sure. They will make plays here and there. Absolutely. They will definitely make plays here and there. But consistently, no. And I believe that this offense does enough to go out there and win. I don't expect my quarterback to fumble the ball 5 times because there's no need for it. There's no need for you to put on a Superman cape. You don't have to do what they do out there in Buffalo. You ain't got to do what they do out there in Kansas City. You ain't got to do what they go out there and do in Baltimore. You don't have to put on a Superman cape. You don't got to do that. Your defense got your back. D'Amico Ryans and Matt Burke are calling it a special defense. Your defense got your back. Will, Daniil, Sting, Lassiter, Bullock, Petrie, Aziz, they got your back, bro. They got your back. 10 toes down. You don't have to be Superman. You don't have to put on no cape. You ain't got to do that. Play your game. Play comfortably. Play smart. Play smart. And don't get in your own head. Don't think too much. Don't react. Go out there and play football. Take care of the football and play football. Because your defense got your back and they going to hold it down. They not scoring more than 17 points on this defense. It's not possible. It's not possible for them to score more than 17 points on this defense. I'm being nice and being generous by saying that. I don't expect them to get more than 13. I really don't expect the Patriot offense to get more than 13. Now, if the team get more from a return on some type of special teams play, or if the offense want to act like they're doing too much and give the football back, that's different. But as far as this offense actually moving the football and scoring on this defense, I don't see them getting more than 13 points. They're not getting more than 13 points. This is the best defense I've seen in the last 25 years. They're not scoring more than 13 points on this defense. So offense, calm down, chill out, take a break, take a breather, handle your business. Go out there, calm down, move the football, play field position, get some field goals here and there, and get you in the end zone 1, 2 times, and that's it. The Texans scored 2 touchdowns. This game is over. This game is over. They out here talking about it's cold and it's snow. Dummy. That benefits the Texans. We the one with the damn defense. Y'all talking about it's snowing outside. It's going to be 23 degrees. Cool beans. Whoop-dee-doo. Cool beans. That benefits us, bruh. We the one that's walking in. Hey, man. We going out there. We doing the thing. We ain't tripping. It's cold outside. When the weather outside is frightful. We don't care about that. That ain't got nothing to do with us. That ain't got nothing to do with us. None whatsoever, bro. None whatsoever. That ain't got nothing to do with us. They got nothing to do with us, man. Like I said, I have the Houston Texans defeating the New England Patriots 23-13. And by the score I said earlier when the Buffalo Bills, that means the Houston Texans will host their very first AFC Championship game next Sunday versus the Buffalo Bills. Not to get ahead of ourselves, but that's what's on the table. That right there. Something that this franchise has never been able to do. You can make up for everything wrong that's ever happened with this franchise if you take care of your business and do what you're supposed to do and prove to the world who you are. That you were the best defense in the last 25 years, even beyond that. You got to show them who you is. Every single play is right there. The money's on the table. It's right there. Don't mess off the money. The money's right there on the table. The stacks on top of stacks, racks on top of racks. It's all right there on the table laid out. Don't mess over the money. Don't mess over the money. Don't do it. It's right there. The money's on the table right there. Don't mess it over. Don't mess it over. It's right there. It's right there for the taking. Absolutely. It's right there for the taking. Don't mess up the money. Don't mess it up. The money's right there on the table. Don't mess it up. It's right there. It's right there. It's right there. Do what you gotta do, man. Do what you gotta do. Absolutely, man. Ain't no excuses, bro. Ain't no excuses at all. Ain't no excuses at all. Talking about I'm speaking facts. I appreciate y'all saying I'm speaking facts. I strive to speak facts. I'm striving to speak facts. I hope that I am speaking facts. But man, I'm saying, hey, that's what I got, man. I think if the Texans go out there and handle our business, ain't nobody messing with us, bro. They're not doing that. They're not doing that. Hey man, Swarm Space City, man. Like, hey, Swarm Space City. They not messing with us, dog. They not messing with us, dog. But we gotta go out there and take care of our business. It's ain't nothing given to us. Everything is gonna have to be earned. Everything is gonna have to be. We gotta go out there and get it. We gotta go out there. We gotta go out there and get it 10 toes. We gotta go out there and get it, man. We gotta go out there and get it, man. Appreciate everybody that pulled up, man. I know it was a late one. I appreciate, man. Y'all jumped up in here too, man. Definitely appreciate everybody that pulled up, man. If you ain't hit the like button already, man, make sure you hit the like button. I'm gonna give you some more time. Make sure you hit the like button. I'm gonna give you some time. Hit the like button right now. All right, man. Appreciate everybody to pull up, man. If you ain't hit the like button already, man, make sure you hit that like button. I'm gonna give you some more time. If you ain't hit the like button already, man, make sure you hit the like button. I'm gonna give you some more time. Hit the like button right now. All right, man. Appreciate everybody that pulled up, man. Definitely appreciate everybody that pulled up. Everybody hit that like button. Like I said, my apologies. I was late. Well, I wasn't even late. I just did the stream later than I normally. I normally do it between 8 and 9, no later than 9. But I had some stuff I take care of earlier with the family, so I had to take care of some stuff with the family. But it's all good because, like I told y'all last week, even though I was at work, I'm gonna pull up. So I pulled up. I'm gonna pull up again. So make sure immediately after the game, right here. Your boy gonna be live immediately after the game, right here. We gonna break it down because I feel like we gonna be talking about the Texans' first ever AFC Championship game appearance. I feel like that's gonna be the talk of the town. So make sure y'all pull up because it's gonna be phenomenal. And then, man, if Buffalo do what they supposed to do tomorrow, we could be talking about AFC Championship game in the city. We could be talking about AFC Championship game in the H. We could be talking about AFC Championship game in Houston. In Man, y'all gotta man. So make sure y'all pull up after the game. Immediately after the game, man. Make sure y'all pull up immediately after the game. Man, appreciate everybody that came through. Everybody hit the like button. If you ain't hit the like button already, man, make sure you hit the like button. Definitely appreciate that. Appreciate everybody hit the super chat love, man. Y'all definitely appreciate that. Y'all don't know how much that means to me every single time y'all hit that super chat love. That means so much to me. Y'all really don't understand how much that means to me. Definitely appreciate y'all hitting the super chat love. Definitely appreciate that. Like I said, the recap. I have the Buffalo Bills tomorrow defeating the Denver Broncos 24-20. I have the Seattle Seahawks beating the San Francisco 49ers 20-17. I have the Chicago Bears defeating the Los Angeles Rams 33-31. And I have the Houston Texans defeating the New England Patriots 23-13. So that means, by the way, I'm saying it, I think that the Seattle Seahawks host the Chicago Bears in the NFC Championship game, and the Houston Texans host the Buffalo Bills in the AFC Championship game. The way I see it, that's what I think is going to be the championship games next Sunday. That's what I think. Again, that's just how I got it. That's just how I got it. And last week, check the tape and see what my record was for the games last week. Go check the tape and see what my record was for the games last week. I'm just saying, if you go check the tape, I got a special video of what I got, who gonna win which game. I got it ordered. Like, you can go in there, you can go look and see, okay, that game. I ain't gonna say it. I want you to go do it. Go look. Go watch it. You ain't seen, and see what my record was. See who I had to win, and see who won, and see what my record was for the whole weekend. The wild card round. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. But man, like I said, appreciate everybody that came through here, man. Hey, Houston Texans, hold it down. We gotta get this one, man. We gotta do some of my franchise they never done before. We gotta get it done. We got absolutely gotta get it done. We gotta do some of my franchises never done before. Never done. We're the only franchise of all 32 franchises that's never been to a conference championship game. We gotta fix that. We gotta fix that. Like, subscribe, if you haven't commented below. If you haven't clicked that bell, get my videos. I holla.